Well, g'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Apologies if there's any problems with the audio. I'm just using a new mic and camera setup. So this morning I'm off to meet a good buddy of mine, a guy called Gerbash. He has another channel. I'll put a link up here somewhere and stick up his logo. Today we're going to do the Kinglake Loop. Now don't bother googling that, it doesn't exist, I just made it up. It's a circular trip, and I'll put a map up here somewhere. It should take us about 2 hours. It might be a bit longer because we're going to try and find somewhere for breakfast. Now today we're already pushing 29 degrees, yes, 29 degrees, and it's going to be a top of 37. So the idea is to get out there early this morning and then get home and maybe jump in the pool for New Year's Eve when it peaks out at 37. So anyway, if you've got nothing better to do and you want to check out the Aussie sunshine and roads, then stay along for the ride. Alright guys, just waiting for a break in the traffic. I've just met my friend Gerbash at the famous Scottish restaurant. But we're not having breakfast there. We try and avoid Macca's and go and support the locals instead. Next up is Smith's Gully. Now Smith's Gully, if you've seen any of my videos before, there's a great little post office there. And they make fantastic burgers. Now they might not be open on New Year's Eve, but if they're not, we'll find somewhere else. I'm not sure if you can pick this up on the GoPro, but I pan over to my left there, you can see the magnificent Australian countryside. Very, very brown at the moment. We're getting into the height of summer, so you know the grass is all getting burnt away. And the other problem you've got at this time of year is the threat of bushfires. So I live in a bushfire prone area, so you've really got to be on your guard for that. So a great stretch of road there coming down into Arthas Creek. Quite popular with the bikers, as you would have seen on the video. Now this is a very small township. In Britain you'd probably call this a village. We don't tend to use the term village in Australia. I think there's a post office and a school, and that's about it in Arthas Creek, but a lovely little place to live. And as you can see, it's very scenic, very scenic. Well, hopefully you're seeing this on the GoPro, just how magnificent it is through here. So we just hung a left onto Hildebrand Road. This takes you the back way over to St Andrews. It's not a fast road. It's not a road to bring your sports bike on and get your knee down. It's just a scenic, plod along ride. Okay folks, so that was Smith's Gully General Store. Got a nice Smith's Gully Sanger and a double espresso. And so the next stop is cutting through past Kinglake Estate. Fantastic winery and pizzeria if you ever get out this way. We're going to cut through this way over to Christmas Hills, and we're going to take a look at the Sugarloaf Dam. So stay tuned. So this is the Kinglake Estate Winery and Pizzeria, if you ever get out this way. So a little bit of a tip here, guys. If you're ever looking for something great to do on a Sunday, look up Rob Roy Hill Climb. Now you probably won't be able to see it over to my left there. Quite often on a Sunday, and you will need to Google this, they have motor racing hill climbs up there. So basically they close off the road in one direction, so effectively they make it one way, and then they race the cars up there, and I think it's something like a quarter mile from a standing start. And they have great days there. You can go and see classic cars, classic bikes, even billy carts get raced, but they race them down the hill and not up the hill. Okay, so this road brings us out at Christmas Hills, and we're going to turn left towards Yarra Valley. Sorry, Yarra Glen, my bad. So we're hanging a right here, and this takes us up to Sugarloaf Reservoir. I'm not sure if you can pick that up on the GoPro, but it's a huge reservoir. There's no boating allowed on this reservoir because it's actually a water supply for the greater Melbourne region. Wow, a fantastic day here. Not a lot of people around. Not sure how windy it is. Maybe we'll throw up the drone. So I'm with my buddy Gerbash, and we're up at Sugarloaf Reservoir, which is a main water supply for the Melbourne area. We're actually shooting in the wrong direction because we're shooting into the sun, but I wanted to capture the reservoir and the bikes behind us. As I mentioned earlier, Gerbash rides a V-Strom, and behind him there we've got the GS, my GS. So guys, that was the Sugarloaf Reservoir. Fantastic place to stop for lunch, but there's no amenities there, not even any toilets, so just be aware of that if you come out this way. Gerbash is taking the lead, and I'm going to follow him over to Yarra Glen. From Yarra Glen we're going to hang a left on the Melba Highway, and then finally take a left over to Kinglake. Looking at the TFT, we're now sat at 33 degrees, so it's actually nice to be on the bike and get a bit of airflow. So this is the main road over to Yarra Glen from through Christmas Hills. Very, very popular with bikers on a weekend, and hence you'll see quite a few signs just letting you know that it's a high risk area. Not sure if you can see that down on the TFT, pushing 34 degrees right now at 11 o'clock. Spectacular view over to the right there. That's actually Yarra Glen down in the bottom of the valley. It's quite difficult to pick it up on the GoPro, I'm afraid. The other thing you're not probably picking up on is just how steep it is down this road down into the valley. Okay, if we were to go right, that would take you to Yarra Glen town centre. We're going to hang a left on the Melba Highway. Which will then take us towards Healesville, although we won't be going right to Healesville today. We're going to then hang a left and go over towards Kinglake and Kinglake West. we're turning left onto the Melba Highway here, and to be honest, it's not the best stretch of road. I mean, you could be in worse places than this, but it's not great bike riding roads to say. But it does take you through some amazing wineries and countryside. Luckily we won't be on it for too long. We'll be taking that left over to Kinglake. So that's the end of the Melba Highway. Well, not quite, but it's the end of it for us. We're turning left towards Kinglake whilst I get all my gears all mixed up. Quite a bit of a boring road that really, but this makes up for it. So that's Kinglake, guys. Just stopped for a few minutes to get a drink. It's quite high altitude here and it's dropped back down to about 30 degrees. But as we drop down the valley back into Whittlesea, I'm sure it will climb up, but we'll keep an eye on the TFT as we're going along. I've always liked coming down from Kinglake. It's a fantastic stretch of road, and with the trees hanging over the road, it really is very scenic. It used to be 100 kilometers an hour all the way down through here, but recently they dropped it to 80, which seems to be happening everywhere. But you know what, it's nice just to cruise along in the sun. So we're dropping down onto the C725 and we're hanging a left and we're going to go down the hill into Whittlesea. So guys, we're just coming back into Whittlesea, and that's the end of the Kinglake Loop. Just looking down at the TFT, it's taken us, I think we left around about 9:30, so we've got about 3 hours in total. Having said that, we stopped twice for quite quite lengthy times for a couple of coffees. So you could quite easily do this in 2 hours, but it's a nice leisurely ride in the north of Melbourne. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, then don't forget to hit that thumbs up, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next ride. This is me, the Boomerang biker, saying ride safe and have a great day. Yeah, do you want to come for a drink, or are you going?
That's fine. I'll just pour some fuel and I'll get some as well.
All right, mate.
Good ride, bro.
Thanks, buddy.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it should be good, mate.
All right.
Have a nice evening.
You too. Ride safe.
Okay,
Cheers.
take care.